Gonna try to go to the depot.
But you gotta get more paint.
No, he's getting all of that stuff.
Oh, we go.
I need some shade, some blinds.
Do you know what, I'm hearing how frustrating this is for all of you, and, I mean, I think frustration is one part of this. I mean, there's a lot going on. I don't think, I mean, we had one session tonight, and I think there's a lot going on here, and frustration's one piece of it, but I think there's more too. And I wanna help you work with your frustration. I do hear it, I wanna help you work with that.
How can you
And-
help my frustration with that?
That's,
And why his mother keep taking the abuse? I wanna know
Because she's
how can you help?
around
Mhm.
if she leaves me alone.
Well, she's gonna be around till you out of my house. Alright? Alright?
Can't y'all put me in the mental institution? I mean, I am a little
You know,
crazy.
I
I
think-
mean,
See,
how many people have
see,
y'all
this is
come
the kind of
across
stuff
where
that frustrates me.
they
I can't
don't like
stand
their
you.
mom?
the fact there's so
Coming
much.
from anybody.
We know, like I said a couple minutes ago, there's so much going on here. I think the fact that there's so much frustration, and that's a strong emotion, the fact that there's so much of that. I think I'd like to continue to work with you because I hate for you to lose what you have invested in each other. I think there is more there. I think you are all invested in each
I know
other.
that, but I wanna know how you
And I
gonna bring it
think-
out in 2 more sessions, 5 more sessions.
Well, we're gonna have contact in between the sessions. The next session, we're gonna work a little bit more on this. Tonight was really a chance, I mean, I really heard your frustration, and there's more there, and that's what we have to kind of work on, pulling out what else is there. And I really would hate, I mean, with all of you to kind of lose
Lose what?
your relationships together, lose what you've
I
had
ain't gonna lose
invested.
my relationship with my daughter.
Mhm.
I might lose relationship with him, me, but not her.
Nope.
This is my current Danny fold, 'cause I
Her
have a
current
Danny fold.
Mhm.
She has.
I have like maybe
6
9
Danny
of
folds.
these at home.
Wow.
All of them are thick. I have other folders that people have given me.
Schools.
I'm frustrated.
Look, you ain't,
Hospitals.
you tight. It's a difference in
And
frustration.
you can just leave.
This is frustration that's built up. It's not something that just developed, it's something that's built up. And frustration comes out of investment, out of care, out of having a relationship. And that's what I would hate to see you lose. I mean, I hate to see you give up on that when there's an opportunity to try through this.
Like I said, I ain't coming back 'cause I can't see where it's going. I do not see
I've
where
been to
this will go.
therapy with him in
In
and
6
out
sessions.
from so many different places.
I can't see where what
Hour
it's going to
sessions,
do.
Evergreen, Child Guidance, Northwest Center.
Just
I
say
can't
10 of
even-
them and be done.
We used
with
to
it.
go see a doctor at, a neurologist at
You stop
Einstein,
disrespecting your mother in front of me.
his medical
I
doctor.
don't like her. You done
Who
said
else?
that 20 times.
God,
You
I'm
said you
schools,
said you would sit me on
counselors,
the
and
corner 20 times.
I said I would.
I'm
She stopped.
tired.
You're
you know?
tired
And I
at this
said,
point
I
because
don't
you've
like
tried a
that.
number of
I have
different
not had a
things.
life
I
at
don't
all.
have- I don't have a hang about it.
You've been, that's part of the investment. I mean, you've been very invested in your son, trying to find a way.
I have an 8-year-old
All I
daughter
got
that
to
I
do is
need
worry about you.
to deal with too.
So you like I
I
told you,
have my
put my
career,
name
I
and
have my
address on
home,
your
I have
clothes.
things I wanna do too.
So when you die or
He's
dead in jail,
16, he'll
they'll
be
call.
16 this year. He needs to take some responsibility for
That was
his
a good one.
actions, or even think
going
about his
around.
actions before he does them.
Well, what do you?
She said, "I don't think about my actions before I do them." Is that what she said?
I said,
Well, you know what?
Go ahead, I'm sorry. I said, you need to take more responsibility for your actions
Daniel,
and for yourself. You will be 16 years old. You're considered a man in some countries at 16. A man, where you have to be responsible. But you have
Real.
no. I'm not going to say anything else. You can go ahead and finish talking. I'm not saying a word because I'm getting upset.
well, Daniel and Veronica, imagine both, if your mom's been through this a number of times, you've been through this too. With your mom.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, for both of you, it's like, okay, I'm coming in here, your frustration's already built up. The not understanding part has been happening for a while. You come in here, it's like, okay, here it is again. What's gonna make this so different? What's gonna help us, between us, when this has happened for so long? What's gonna make this different? And when you've been through so many things together and trying to make this work, and you've been trying to make it work, and you feel like you've been through this a number of times and nobody's understanding, it's frustrating again. I come down here, you're already feeling the frustration. So what is gonna make this different? And this is a different program, and all I can suggest, I mean, try to come back again another time, because tonight you really laid out a lot of things tonight. There's a lot that you gave me, a lot of information, a lot about feelings, a lot about what's going on between all of you.
In order for this to work, no
Mhm.
offense, everybody has to be willing. He is not willing.
Me
Nope,
either.
I'm not willing. I'm not willing at all. She knows.
And it sounds like, I mean,
Willing for what? Are you talking?
Danny, for us to try to have a relationship with each other, for
I
us
wanna
things
have
to
a
be better.
relationship with you. I just don't want to be.
There you
The
go.
relationship I want to have with you is not to be bothered with you.
well,
That's just fine with me.
it seems like you've been through this so many times
Exactly.
that it just feels like, what is to make this any different? And it feels like at this point, it probably is more frustrating and more difficult to even keep trying at this point. And that's where, look, I come down, I'm feeling like I'm not understood, you're not understanding each other. You don't feel like you understand what's going on or why things are happening the way they are. And
I don't.
Sheesh.
I don't understand how any mother could raise her child. 'Cause I raised 5 of them.
that's the piece I hear.
That child don't come, that child gets to this point. This child gets to this point that he's at. I don't understand. I really don't. I'm trying to understand. I don't understand. How can a child get to the point where they hate their mother?
I want to interrupt for a second, okay? Because I heard, can I ask you your name?
Veronica.
Veronica, my name's Tom.
Hi, Tom.
And I'm walked in because I'm the supervisor and I'm the person helping, and you're her mom, right?
Yes.
And your name is?
Marion.
Marion. Okay, and you're?
Daniel.
Daniel. Hi, Daniel, nice to meet you. Could I have 5 minutes?
Sure.
Yeah, just 5 minutes? And then we're done.
All right.
Okay, because I don't have to say much, because I don't know if you have anything valuable to say. Two things are important to me. It's what you said.
What?
For this to work, everybody has to want to make a relationship.
Right.
And that's your frustration too, isn't it? About wanting a relationship. And I don't want to say frustration in the same way that you've been hearing frustration. I don't mean that. What I mean is that I think that's the core of this, is that there has to be a relationship here. I think there is a relationship here.
Between me and my daughter.
That's what I mean, between you and your daughter.
Right.
And I think the relationship here is one in which you've lost him, Daniel.
I have.
That's right. And I think you're holding on to Daniel as tight as you can, and that's getting to the point where it's feeling like you can't hold on anymore.
Right.
You got an 8-year-old daughter?
I have an 8-year-old.
What's her name?
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne. That's a pretty name.
Thank you.
You're getting, how long has it been since you've been saying to yourself that if you hang in with it much more, Cheyenne's gonna get lost too?
Well, I've never said that.
Okay, I meant to like thinking to yourself.
No, I just keep
I
thinking that
have.
eventually
You have?
I'm
I
gonna
have.
break down and lose everything. That's what I keep thinking. I keep thinking that something is gonna happen and I'm gonna lose everything. Not just Cheyenne, you know.
So, could I ask a question?
Sure.
Again, and I don't wanna pry, but it's important to me, because when you said that, I thought it was worth coming in here. When you said, everybody has to be willing, because it was the first time in all this that what I heard you saying is, I don't wanna lose it. Because I don't
Right.
think
She
you want
don't.
it. You don't
Not
want
at
it.
all.
That's right.
She
This is,
don't.
this is
That's
the.
her son. She
that's
don't
right.
wanna lose.
That's right. And
There
that's.
comes a time when you got to just say, step back.
That's right. And the idea is, how can we step back and let, you're 15?
Yes.
and let this 15-year-old man, 15-year-old young man, 15-year-old we hope becomes a man.
Right.
In a way that we all want him to be a man. And I think you want to be a man in that same way, Daniel.
Yes.
A good man? I mean, I don't know what you're after here.
Like, I don't know, wide scale, something real nice, like investment
There
or
you go.
something in some type of major league, like football or
Yeah.
AFL, something
That'd be
like
good.
that.
Are you a football player?
Actually, I signed up, but like I like physical sports, like contact sports, stuff like that. Something that gets the adrenaline.
So,
going.
but the point being is,
Yes.
it sounds to me like we got everybody trying to get him raised to be a good man, the best man we can be. And that along the way, that got lost. And along the way, now you've even gone from not, so I missed the point, so that was helpful to me. It's not worried about losing Cheyenne, it's worried about losing even you. You're
Exactly.
afraid you're gonna lose it, meaning
Right.
you and everything. You're not gonna be able to hold on to this anymore. Okay. That's pretty bad. I mean, that's pretty tough.
Right,
And
I mean, it's like I have one shoe in the crazy house and one shoe out of it, and that's the honest truth.
Right. That's what he didn't get, right?
He doesn't get that.
And he doesn't get that when you get angry, and that when he has to live, he goes off to live with your mom and things like that. What he doesn't get is that when this struggle happens between you, it is less about controlling him, and it's more about trying to hold on and not go crazy,
Right.
and live in the crazy house, as opposed to just having one foot in it.
Right.
Okay? And that's what he misses, right?
He's missing the whole picture.
Is that the part that at the end of the day ends up hurting and frustrating and pissing you off so bad?
No,
It's
what
so-
hurts me is that he might not have a good life
Oh,
from his actions now.
Shit.
no,
It's
no.
not even a,
It's not about you then, is it?
Right.
Okay, good. Because if it isn't about you, then you haven't lost everything with him.
right,
You're still trying to teach him.
right. See, I'm willing, I'm going to the limit.
Right. Well, you're willing to
Even
sacrifice
if
yourself
it
for
gets-
him.
Right, and I just said that to him, and he just said, what did he say?
Get out of my life.
He doesn't care.
Do you mean it when you say get out of my life?
Yes. I don't want to be bothered with it.
Well, that's so, that's not what I said. I didn't say you don't want to be bothered with her. I know you don't want to be bothered. Are you talking about out of your life, or are you talking about not being bothered?
I said I didn't want to be bothered. I
Okay,
didn't say
that's
get
different.
out of my life.
Okay, that's what I mean, that's a different thing. Because I understand not knowing what to do, and I understand when you're 15 and you don't quite know all the stuff to do yet, even though you're growing up, even though you're becoming a man. I understand saying, I don't know how to handle this, and I don't want to be bothered. But that's different than saying out of my life? Or are you saying out of my life?
She said I don't.
No, I'm asking you what you said.
I said I don't want to be bothered. I said I want her to either move. This was just like when I said Mexico, it was playing around. She can move anywhere that's far away from here, or I'll move. She can send me away, or something of that sort. I just don't want to be bothered.
And that's because you don't know how to handle it?
And yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so part of it, so Daniel, is part of it that when you say, I don't wanna be bothered, that you say, I don't know what to do about it?
No, it's just that I don't want to bother. It's too much stress. I'll come back around when I'm like 30 or something. Just drop in, say hi, pick
See-
up my little sister, take her
No,
around.
no, see, here's the thing, you know, in a weird way, the both of you are in exactly the same, you got one foot in the crazy house, I'm a parent too. So if it was me and I was in your shoes, I'd have both feet in the crazy house. And as a 15-year-old kid, the way you say, I got a foot in the crazy house, is you're saying, I don't wanna be bothered. What's interesting to me is both of you are in exactly the same place. I don't know how old you are, you're a very young woman, and she is, I'm older.
35.
Well, there you go, I'm lots older. So this is an older person, younger person version of the very same thing. You say, I don't want to be bothered, you say, it's driving me nuts, I'm going to the crazy house. The two people that care about each other, that are not willing to let go, don't know how to get over this. And they're doing their own versions of the protect each other, trying to save it, because, you know, if you go to the crazy house, at least you save something. If you don't get bothered, at least you got some kind of relationship. I just think this. I think it's worth trying to figure out a way not to lose each other, because here's what my prediction is. I think if you lose her at Daniel, you're not gonna live with yourself. And I think if you lose it, you are gonna go to the crazy house.
Right, exactly.
So you're caught, both of you were caught. I don't think that's the solution. I think there's a different solution. I think the different solution is, it sounds to me like you both do want the very thing that you just said, a relationship. Neither of you know how to overcome this bother thing. Neither of you know how to overcome the stress. Neither of you know how to overcome it. I don't think it's about not a relationship. So I disagree there. I think it's about not knowing how to overcome the hurt feelings that have led to all this stuff. And you can be a big, strong man, a contact sport guy, and say, yeah, my feelings are hurt. You didn't say that, but you could do that. I would just say I disagree with you. Because I think.
No, I didn't hear what you said. Can you-
I said, well, I was anticipating what you might say. I was gonna say, you could say, yeah, but I'm not hurt, I don't have hurt feelings and all that. I think that's where the bother comes from. Maybe?
Maybe, I don't know, I just don't want to be bothered with her.
Well, maybe that's a 15-year-old guy's way of saying, I don't know how to deal with it. Guys are not so good about saying, I don't know what to do about things.
I know.
Because I'm not so good at
I
it.
raised two sons.
Yeah, so you know, they don't do that so good, do they? They don't say, I can't do it, and I need help. What do they say? What do they say?
I ain't go through that problem.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what my experience is. My experience is that guys do this, oh, it ain't no big deal to me, I can handle it, and you know what, it's your fault.
They will cut off their nose to spite their
There you
face.
go.
My boss
I know,
does it
I
every
know, I
day.
know.
There you go.
Like I said, I ain't go through that.
And you know what? You didn't go through it.
No, because I planted the seed when they was little.
There you go. Different world, different seeds, I don't know what the difference is, but different.
Different. It's a whole different new world.
It's a whole different new world, there's no question about it. So what I wanna say to Danny, what I wanna say to the two of you is, I just think it isn't about a relationship. I think it's two different ways of saying, I don't know how to handle it. We can help you do that, we can help you handle it. Will it be what you want it to be? Will it be like it was?
I just want anything.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
Anything.
Thank you. Good for you. Daniel,
I just don't want to be bothered.
there you go. And if we can help you with a way to handle it different, so that you can handle the stress, then you're not gonna be as bothered. And then you don't lose the most important relationship in your life. You only get one mom. You only get one grandma. And you only get one son. We can help you handle it. But it's not about frustration, it's not about all that. It's about, I think you want the same thing. I just think it's hard to see it in him cutting paper and being a 15-year-old guy that doesn't do this so good and doesn't know how to handle the stress. And I think it's hard to see it in a mom that has one foot in the crazy house, that's trying to hold on to her sanity. And I think it's hard to see it with a grandma that has lived a long life and been very successful and looks back on it and says, you know what, I don't have the patience for this.
I don't.
Yep.
You hit the nail on the head.
So I think it's hard to see it in those things. But what I saw from the other side of the mirror is something different. I saw a relationship. If we can figure out how to handle some of the hurt that's come from all that's gone on, that each of you do it different, that you won't lose the most important thing to you. And that's all I wanted to come and say to you. And I'm sorry for interrupting. I'm
That's
sorry
okay.
for bothering. That's what I think we can do for you. And I know you've been to child guidance. I know the child guidance people. I heard you say that. I don't know all the other places.
Dr. Molly Highland.
I know that.
Dr. Vogelson and.
I know those
oh,
people.
goodness.
Well, I'm Dr. Sexton, and this is my model.
Okay.
And we can do this.
Well, like I said to the young lady, how was this going to help?
This is gonna help in this way. what I wanna do is handle the stress so you don't lose each other.
I don't lose my daughter.
No, I know, but I don't want you to lose your grandson.
She just may have to come and visit me somewhere.
Well, the good news is, no, I don't want you to, no, you're not gonna lose your daughter, and I don't want you to lose your daughter, and I don't think you need to lose your daughter.
If things don't straighten out more than they will, I will lose my daughter.
You're right,
I will lose my daughter,
that's right,
because she ain't gonna like what happens with him
that's right.
through me. If he
Well,
don't stop cutting up.
well, I think the other way she'll lose him is it'll be too painful and she'll have 2 feet in the crazy house.
I'm not.
You're not gonna let that happen, I know you'll protect her. Here's what, you know what worries me? Your daughter's 35, I'm 52.
I'm 64.
Well,
so-
you beat me, you win. But
So-
no, what worries me is that when she's 40 and 45 and she's lost her son, I'm worried about what happens to her then. Because that's a pain that never goes away, that's a hole you never fill.
Been there, done that.
There you go, then you know what I'm talking about.
Been there, done
Then you know what I'm talking about. It's a hole that doesn't go away, does it?
that. Been there, done that.
Okay, then you know. That's what my worry is too. I got the longer term worry also.
Yeah, but what I am saying, it took me 15 years to cut loose. I don't want her to keep on going through the hurt and the pain of raising somebody that don't like her.
I don't,
My son liked me. My son loved me.
and it still was 15 years of pain.
Of pain. Danny don't understand. Danny don't care.
What don't I
right now.
understand?
You know what?
What don't I understand, Grandma?
Let me venture a guess. Let me just say, because we don't have a lot of time, and I don't want to keep you, and I know this is hard, but I want to say something I think is important. I think he does understand. I don't think he can say it. I don't think we can see it. And I think he would have been long gone if in his weird, strange, crazy way, he wasn't doing his way of trying to hold on to her. Now, here's what's not acceptable from my perspective. It's not acceptable to hold on in a way that makes somebody else suffer. That's not okay.
And sometimes I think he gets a kick out of it, really.
And maybe,
I think it's just like he just likes to pull my chain.
maybe he's a psychopath. Maybe he's an antisocial guy. I don't know that yet. It could be. You could be right. I don't think so from looking, but it could be. I don't.
Frustrated his doctor the last time we were there, Dr. Mignano. The man turned red, and he had to make reference to the fact that he used to be out on the street corners too. And the man was frustrated. The psychiatrist we saw last up at Evergreen, he got his book out to make an appointment for the next time. And Daniel told him,
No, he said, I'll see you next time. I said, don't worry, you won't have to make another appointment.
he said, I won't be in need of your services anymore.
Well, it's one of those kind of things where that kind of assertiveness and straightforwardness will serve him very well when he's 25.
Right,
It doesn't
exactly.
work so
Okay.
well when you're 15.
Right, and he's very good at very well spoken.
Yeah.
He has a lot of good qualities.
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand.
Do you know what I mean is about, I'm with you, I don't think that it's right for someone to hold on in a way that hurts somebody else.
I know.
That's not right. I just don't know that I think that we can't help him hold on different. I don't want them to lose each other. And I don't want anybody to get lost by trying to hold on too long.
See, that, I
What
think I'm
saying is,
holding on too tight.
Veronica has
too
2
long.
children. For the past 15 years, how old is Cheyenne? 8?
8.
Since the day Cheyenne was born, Danny has sucked up all of her attention. She has just started paying attention to Cheyenne. Cheyenne's a
Yes.
little girl.
I've just started investing in her, just recently,
My dad, my dad.
as far as activities, things.
Anything.
Just culturally.
How long have you, Mary, you've been working for 8 years to try to get her to pay attention to Cheyenne too?
No, she pays Cheyenne attention.
No, but I mean the way you just talked about. Meaning the way you just talked about, which is not having Danny suck it all out. I mean, has that been the lesson? Is that what you've been?
Yes.
Okay, so this is not a new, this is not
And
a new line.
And
to
she
you.
talk, and I sit down and I talk to her. I I said, Veronica, if you don't start taking charge of Cheyenne, you're gonna wind up with another Danny. I said, Cheyenne is obnoxious, she talks too much. Veronica is trying to curb that now. Because Danny was draining all the attention. Cheyenne was not being, in my opinion, but that has changed. Because she see where she was headed with Cheyenne, same place she's headed with Dan.
Yep. I hear you.
And like I said, I got that 11-year-old here. They see him don't go to school, cause every day she comes, Danny go to school? I said, yes, Danny went to school. Oh. So don't you even try to play them games with me. 7 o'clock, I want you walking out the door.
Does he go?
And she
I'm
said-
talking about Cheyenne.
Oh,
Talking about
Cheyenne.
Brianna.
Okay, okay.
I'm talking about Brian,
Okay.
Brianna.
Okay.
Cause monkey see, monkey do.
There you go.
If I don't say nothing about him going to school, staying home sleeping all day, then she gonna wanna try it. And they're gonna fight between me and her, cause I'm not gonna have it.
Right. Well, we've been at this a long time.
Yes, we have.
Let me just say what I came in to say, which is, you know, I wanna tell you, I respect the struggle. I think you've been at it a long time. I'm not gonna tell you that there's miracles, but what I wanna tell you is this. I wanna tell you that there's something here not to be lost. And the question isn't about relationship. I think there is one. The question is handling the stress of it differently. I think when he says, I don't wanna be bothered, that would hurt me to the core. If it was my son that said
Oh,
it,
it
my
does.
baby that said it would tear me up, I'd be 2 feet in. And I would lose sight of the fact that that's a 15-year-old boy's way of saying I can't handle it. When I heard my mom say that I got 2 feet in, or almost 2 feet in the nut house, I would feel terribly guilty, and I wouldn't know how to manage it. When I heard my grandma say, what's the truth, which is, you know, don't lose another one,
That's right.
then, you know, I don't know if I'd handle that. You know what, you're all right. The thing that I think you want to hold on to, I think there is a relationship to hold on to. And I think if we can manage the stress of it, you won't lose each other. And Danny, you gotta go to school. That's not an option. There's things you gotta do. That's not
I
a.
get up
Okay.
early now.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you, I think, you know, the bottom line is those things are not choices. I
That's
mean,
right.
you know, maybe when you're 18 and you can, wherever the law is, you can make your choice and you'll head the way you head, and it'll hurt people's feelings, and you'll go where you go. But at this point, that's the kind of thing that makes each other, you will lose each other. And they're doing the right thing by teaching you. I don't think they understand the independence part. I think that's gotten lost in all the pain and things like that. What I want to help you all do is hold on to this thing. Hold on to what you got. That's the only thing I want to say. And I'm sorry for interrupting.
It's okay. Don't do it.
And I hope that it would be okay with you. And Marion, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names, so if I ask again, it's because I'm
It's
really,
all right.
I'm really empty-headed with names.
Right.
You know, if you come back,
Right.
you're welcome. If you don't, it's okay.
All right.
Okay, so that's okay with me, all right?
Because y'all gotta get these two
I
together.
hear you, and that's what I was wanting to say, is I
These-
think,
it's
I think
about
this
these
is,
two.
I think this is the thing.
She
about-
even though it's frustrating with him, she loves both of us.
Oh, yeah,
But it's frustrating.
She's caught in a weird place. She's caught between the love of her daughter and the love she's forgotten for her grandson, and she's caught in a very hard spot. I mean, she's in an impossible position. I think if we could talk to the two of you, it would be really helpful. I'd like to invite you to come. Danny, you may not like or need our services. I'm not sure
Oh,
you do or
it's-
need it, but you know what?
It's fine.
Okay, but you know what? I'd like to see you when you come in. I'd like for you to come in, Marion. I don't want to put you through it again. I know the tough spot you're in. Your loyalties are pulled.
no,
up.
we down here, and them little girls was home by themselves.
Yep.
Little Raina there.
So if it's okay, maybe we'll talk to you two?
Tomorrow,
Is it at the time that we had?
tomorrow at
6
6.
o'clock.
Okay, would that be all right? Does it fit your schedule?
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
That's the question.
Will you be
That
up?
is the question.
I'm just kidding. Okay,
I ain't-
I'm sorry for interrupting.
That's okay.
Thank you. No,
Thanks a
really,
lot.
thank you very much. Danny, thank you. Marion,
Thank you.
Sorry
Nice
for-
meeting
sorry
you.
for interrupting. It's nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you both of you.
thank
Miss
you.
Mary.
All right.
Veronica.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Stay home and watch the
I'll
girls.
see you
okay?
Dan.
tomorrow.